Hello aspirants, welcome to GS Score. Myself Ashutosh, and today we are going to discuss the current affairs through MCQs for art and culture. Aspirants, we are conducting the All India PT mock test, and it's an OMR based test which you can attempt in both online and offline mode, and go to scan the QR code, and for more information you can visit the IAS Score. So let's come to the first question. The first question is about the Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha. With reference to Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha, consider the following statements. Fine. Friends, this Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha was an organization which was established during mid-1920s to propagate, starting of the 1920s, to propagate the idea of single union of languages. So that for like Hindi. So Hindi was sought to be established as a national language, and this was advertised for the using of Hindi in the Dakshin Bharat. So our first statement is it was established by Madan Mohan Malviya in 1918. Its sole aim was to spread Hindi in the southern states of India. Mahatma Gandhi became the president of the Sabha in 1927. So guys, we have to find the correct statement. UPSC sometimes sets some question like this where you can find some logical conclusion according to you is right. For example, Madan Mohan Malviya, as you all know, he was a very prolific leader. So his name was used here, but it's not a right statement. Why is not a right statement? Because it was established by the Mahatma Gandhi to spread the use of Hindi in southern states, and that the sole aim which I have discussed earlier was to spread the Hindi in the southern states of India. And Mahatma Gandhi became the president of Sabha in 1927. Fine. Besides Mahatma Gandhi, Devdas was the first pracharak of, he was son of Mahatma Gandhi, and Devdas was the first Hindi pracharak. And it emerged as a part of freedom movement that leaders who led the nation to free India, and they felt that there is a necessity of making a single Indian language as the national language. So that's why it would also help in the national integration. Fine. So in 1927, the Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha became an independent organization, and Gandhi led that till his death. Fine. So next move to the next question. The next question is about the archaeological findings and the related statement, and we have to find the incorrect one. Fine. The following statement regarding the archaeological finds. Our first statement is, among the finds at Hastinapur, most significant discoveries made at this site was of the new ceramic industry named painted graveware. This is a very important part of information which has been presented to you in the form of question. Now let's see. Hastinapur, let's show on the map. Hastinapur, as you know, is in Meerut district. Fine. So Hastinapur, which is in Meerut district, here we have find a most significant discovery in the new ceramic industry from painted graveware. This painted graveware is an ancient form of, it denotes an ancient form of culture. You know, it denotes the ancient form of culture in the way of, like, denotes the early settlements of Aryans and their expansion. So in Hastinapur, we find the evidences through the painted graveware. Through the painted graveware, we find the evidence of early settlements of Aryan and their expansion. Now, I will show you in the picture. This is a part of painted graveware. These are the vessels or wares. Wares mean which you use to eat food or store food. And when they were the early settlers, they used this mainly ancient form of architecture, art on their wares, and it's a very basic form. That's why it's called graveware. It's a basic form, and the advanced form you can find in the northern black polished ware, which also shows the advancement of civilization. Fine. As you can see in the map also, the Ghagra, Hakra, and the Satluj, these were the starting range of Aryan settlements, and they moved gradually forward to the eastern and the lower Ganga basin. Fine. Further, I would also like to add that the earlier evidence of their settlements we find in the literary form. In the Tatapatha Brahmana, Satapatha and Gopath Brahmana. As you know, Gopath Brahmana is also a part of Brahmanic literature. Now, in this Satapatha and Gopath Brahmana, there is a saying that we find the story of Vidhe Madhav. Vidhe Madhav, he was a person who followed the Agni, and wherever the Agni goes, he goes behind it, and it led to the formation of ancient Aryan expansion and settlements. So, the first information we get from here of the Aryan settlements we get from the painted greywares, and the second and from the Vidhe Madhav mentioned in the Satpatha and Gopatha Brahmana. Fine. Is that clear to all? So the Hastinapur, which is in Meerut, the significant discovery had been made, and this makes the statement correct, not incorrect. Fine. Next statement: in the excavation at Dholavira, the skeletal remains of a couple were discovered. It's a true, but the place has been mentioned very wrongly. It's not Dholavira, but it's Rakhi Garhi. It's Rakhi Garhi. Fine. In Rakhi Garhi, we find the skeletal remains of a couple or opposite sex which were buried together. And the next statement is at Adina Chalur. I will also talk about the Rakhi Garhi in the next upcoming slides. At the Adina Chalur, an ancient Tamil Brahmana script on the inside of an urn containing full human skeleton has been found. Yes, this is also right statement. So this makes only two option incorrect, and it will be our answer. In terms of Adina Chalur is a site in Thoothukudi district of Tamil Nadu, and in this site we found some very ancient excavations. Fine. At this site we find very ancient excavation which denotes that the Adina Chalur is somewhere between 1000 BC to 600 BC older civilization. Fine. इतना ओल्ड सिविलाइजेशन ये हमें एक वहां से साक्ष्य मिले हैं एक्सकेवेशंस के थ्रू. Further, we also find that Tamil Brahmari script was found inside an urn, and this urn was containing the skeletons. So Tamil Brahmari script has also been found inside the urn besides the skeletons. And as I have discussed in the earlier class, the Tamil Brahmari script has also been found from Kilari excavations. So it denotes that through Kilari and Adina Chalur that Tamil Nadu, the region of Tamil Nadu was very thriving in the ancient days in terms of civilization and settlements of people. Right. Coming back to the questions. So our answer would be 2. Incorrect is only 2 option. Fine. Next, moving on to the next aspect of question. Yeah. The next question is about the Indus Valley civilization. We have taken this Indus Valley civilization, their sites, and the question about them for more clarity. And because this Indus Valley civilization found, very numerous repetition in the UPSC Prelims question. So the question is about the evidences of cattle buffalo meat consumption have been found. Now, this news piece was dominating like 1 year back, in which some historians and archaeologists have found that there is evidence of beef eating in the Indus Valley civilization. So the question is asking about the where they have been found: Rakhigari, Kalibangan, Mashudpur, and Farmana. Guys, the answer would be here 1, 3, and 4, the C, because in Kalibangan we don't find the evidences of any beef eating. For the sake of further information, I will say that the beef and cattle consumption was initiated. The findings for the dietary patterns were initiated as a part of two rain projects between Cambridge and BHU University. Between Cambridge and BHU University. Fine. They have studied the dietary patterns of Indus Valley civilization in the areas of Rakhigari, Masudpur, and Farmana, and these sites have revealed some interesting information about the consumption of beef by the Indus Valley people. Fine. How this was done? This was done by the analysis of vessels, ceramic vessels and the lipids residue the lipids residue were analyzed, and the fats and oils were extracted, and they have been identified, for the their dietary patterns. Fine. So the answer here would be C. 1, 3, and 4 are only correct. With respect to Rakhi Gari, as per the demands of UPSC, and this may be asked, we need to look at its first location. The location of Rakhi Gari is in Haryana, in Hisar district. Fine. Now, the Rakhi Gari is among the well-known and largest civilization of Harappan civilization in Indian subcontinent. Besides, Rakhi Gari is also a part of 5 townships. Rakhi Gari is also a part of 5 townships of IVC, Indus Valley Civilization. Fine. Besides Rakhi Gari, the 4 others the 3 are in Pakistan. That's Harappa, Mohenjo-daro. Then we find Ganheriwala. These 3 are in the Pakistan. And besides Rakhi Gari, we have Dholavira. As an site of township in the Indus Valley Civilization. Fine. Interestingly, we also find some, as we have discussed in the previous question, the skeletons of opposite sex together. And Rakhi Gari, the excavation at Rakhi Gari has revealed the presence of both mud brick and burnt brick. Fine. The presence of both mud brick and burnt brick has been found, and which also suggests some kind of drainage pattern. Along with it, at Rakhi Gari, we also find some animal sacrificial pits. Fine. And these animal sacrificial pits were lined by the mud bricks and some kind of burnt bricks also. Fine. The Kalibangan, as you know, is another side. It's not in the answer. So Masoodpur, the village of Masoodpur dates back something around 4700 to 1400 BCE. Okay. This date has been attributed to the Masoodpur, and Masoodpur is also in the Hisar district. Fine. Farmana is in Rohtak district. This is very nearby. And as you can see in the map of the previous slide, you can find the movement of the early Aryan settlements on the same place, and the civilization which came during the Indus Valley civilization have also been spread in the areas following here. Fine. We also find the all 3 phases in not in this point only, but the 3 phases have been found repeatedly in one and the other site. So the question is the answer would be here 1, 3, and 4 only, and we have discussed about the Rakhi Gari and the various attributes, like it was one of the 5 township of Indus Valley civilization, and we have found mud brick and burnt brick, etc. So is it clear? Next. Yeah, in this slide I have shown you this kind of vessels have been analyzed for their lipid residue analysis, and this kind of settlements were found. As you can see, there's a presence of mud bricks. Fine. Burnt bricks have also been used here, and the settlement shows as a whole the presence of a well-planned civilization. Fine. So let's move on to the next question. Amakhoi Fossil Park was recently seen in news is located in which of the following state? Now this news came around 1 week back, and it was related with the fossil park, which has been also been designated as a kind of new bioheritage site by the state government of West Bengal. So our answer would be West Bengal here. Amkhoi Fossil Park was in news, and it was a news because it was designated as the biodiversity heritage site by government of West Bengal. Fine. With regard to the information about the Amkhoi Fossil Park, we need to understand a few things. That this Amkhoi Fossil Park is a wood park. ancient wood ranging more than 10,000 years have been found here, and the park is in Birbhum district of West Bengal. And there's a very interesting story regarding the found, that when there was a excavation was going on and there was some construction site was also there. So workers found a were tasked with the digging up a well or pond, and they found this kind of woods which suggests it was a starting it was some kind of a stone, but upon analysis it has been found that it is a wood. It's an ancient wood, and thereafter it was given the a criteria of fossil park and included recently as a biodiversity heritage site. Fine. Now the question is how the fossilized wood came to be in use. Like this fossilized wood is usually known as the term there is petrified wood. The term used for them is petrified wood. The petrified wood means there is a loss of organic matter. Fine. When the organic matter is lost, I will see in the next slide. This was the wood found, fossilized wood. When the organic matter is lost, ठीक? So it is being replaced only the stony material is there, and this stony material contains the organic minerals, and these minerals give them a color. You can see the color. There's some brightest yellow to brownish in color. So this fossilized wood have been given a form of color after the loss of organic matter from the wood, and the minerals add color to the petrified wood. And the specimens I have told you more than 10,000 years categorized as the fossilized. Okay. So this Amkhoi Fossil Park is a wood park in the state of West Bengal. This question can be asked as a reference you can take for the preparation for UPSC Prelims this year. So let's move on to the next question. It's about Tiruvalluvar. The statement is 15 January is celebrated as the Tiruvalluvar Day. In this regard, consider the following statement regarding Tiruvalluvar. As the aspirants, Tiruvalluvar was an ancient, very prolific poet and philosopher, and he is regarded as the cultural icons by Tamilians. In starting, the 15 January was not the date of Tiruvalluvar Day. Previously, it was in the May, but recently it has been taken in the month of January, according to the some calendar. Fine. So usually it's strike as a part of Pongal celebration. You can say. So Tiruvalluvar, as you know, was a very prolific poet and a philosopher, and his works was kind of named as Tirukul. Tirukkural was his work, and he was a celebrated Tamil poet philosopher. That's true. And his most popular work is Tirukkural, as we have discussed, is the collection of couplets of ethics, politics, economy, and love. Yes, this is a very true statement. Let's make both 1 and 2 as a correct statement. With regard to Tiruvalluvar, I would like to say that no such concrete evidence has been found. While not much is known about Tiruvalluvar life, but speculation said that it has been largely deduced from this book Tirukul, and there's another book called there's another book called Malai. Now this book also have some references of the poet Tiruvalluvar, and from these two books we get about his information. And the book Thirukul is divided into, and it contains 330 couplets or kurals. The couplets have been named as kurals, and divided into 133 sections of 10 couplets each. Fine. And his teaching were mainly on the aspects of dharma, artha, kama, and it mainly contains the poem related with the politics, economy, love, and war. You can see that there's also a statue of Tiruvalluvar. It's a 133-foot tall statue at Kanyakumari as well. Fine. So let's move on to the next question. The Maghi Mela Maghi Mela is held in which of the following states? Now, by looking at the name of Maghi, some might confuse with West Bengal, Assam, but the answer is Punjab. This Maghi Mela is celebrated in the state of Punjab. Now, let's coming to some factual information about this Maghi Mela. Now, this Maghi Mela is held in the city of Muktasar in Punjab. It's every year phenomena. Fine, it held in every year according to the in the month of Magh, according to the Nanak Sahi calendar. Nanak Sahi calendar. This calendar, according to this calendar, this Maghi Mela is held every year, and this Mela is celebrated in the memory of 40 Sikh warriors. 40 Sikh warriors who fought against the Mughals in year 1705, and in the battle which is known as the Battle of Hidrana. After this battle, the name Muktsar has been given to it. So the Maghi Mela is celebrated every year in the city of Muktsar, that is Punjab, and it's every year phenomena according to the Nanak Sahi calendar. And it is why it is famous, why it is celebrated, because in the remembrance of 46 warriors who fought against the Mughals in 1705 in the Battle of Hidrana. Fine. So I think this question is clear. Our next question is about a traditional form of art or performing art. Bhavna is a traditional form of performing art, always with religious messages, is from which of the following state of India? Now, it's a very interesting question. As performing art and traditional form of art will be being in news, and it's also form of kind of intangible heritage of our India. So let's look at the options: Odisha, West Bengal, Assam, and Tripura. Fine. The answer would be here Assam. Why Assam? Because Bhavna is a stage performance of a very popular drama called Ankiya Nat. As some of you might be aware of this term Ankiya Nat, it was started by Shankaradev. Shankaradev was an Assamese saint during the era of Bhakti movement in medieval time. Fine. So Bhavna is the stage performance, of Ankiya Nat. As part of Bhakti culture and the Bhakti movement, Shankardev started this Nat in very simplest form of message being given to the common people, and he also used a language different from the Hindi and Sanskrit. That language is known as Brajavali, not Brajavali, but Brajavali was the language which is used in this performing art till now date, and it was started by the Shankardev. He was very famous Vaishnavite saint who spread the message of Bhakti movement through the Ankiya Nat. And Bhavna is a traditional form of performing art, and the Bhavna is the staging of the play known as Ankiya Nat. Okay. Further, we can find in the picture also. This is the staging of Ankiya Nat. This is staging of Bhavna of Ankiya Nat, and we find religious themes here from Ramayana, Mahabharata. Some epics also dominate, and some kind of victory of truth over the climax, like the mythological kings, queens, demons, and gods, soldiers were used in this play, and this was started by Shankardev, as I have mentioned here. So please go through. It can be a very, very important question from the prelims point of view, because Shankardev Bhakti movements do form some kind of question in UPSC prelims, and if it is related with the performing art, traditional form of art, then it might be asked. Fine. Please remember the language was Brajavali. In the next question, we'll find our next question is regarding the National Archives of India. Going by the recent trends, we have framed this question with regard to some institution and statutory bodies which look over the aspect of cultural heritage and its regulation, development, preservation, etc. So the coming to the question, the National Archives of India is the nodal agency of Government of India for the implementation of Public Records Act 1993. Okay, we have to find correct answer here. National Archive of India is an attached office under the PMO. Now this is wrong answer. Fine. Yeah. So this is not PMO. This is Ministry of Culture. Fine. It's Ministry of Culture, which is attached office. NIA is an attached office of Ministry of Culture. Now this Public Record Act mainly says it pertains to the regulation or to regulate and manage the administration and preservation of public records of central government. It will manage, regulate and administer the public record of central government or UTs or some statutory bodies or some centrally established PSUs, etc. Fine, which has been constituted by the central government or a UT administration. Fine. Our next question here is Jatan. Jatan, recently seen in news, is related with which of the following? Now, Jatan is related with the virtual museum builder, not a style of painting, not a form of stupa architecture, not a performing art. This Jatan is a based is a software, mainly a software. Jatan is mainly a software which is being used for digitizing the records of antiquities. Fine. And the digitization cell of National Museum is the nodal unit for the digitization of museum objects in the Jatan platform. Fine. Now let's move on to the next question. This question is about the Jaipur blue pottery. So the following statements are correct regarding the Jaipur blue pottery. Yeah, the Jaipur blue pottery has been conferred the GI tag status. It came from Iran and Turkey to India in the 14th century. Yes, both statements are correct. Our answer would be C, 1 and 2. Why? Because this Jaipur blue pottery has recently been conferred the GI tag and it came from the Central Asia. Like when there was a Turkish rule, the Jaipur blue pottery came and it was further developed. It was further developed during Mughals. And there's a very significant feature associated with the Jaipur blue pottery is that they don't use clay and they use the material of quartz in their making. Fine. The use of quartz in their making, and this technique, as we have discussed, has traveled to India with the early Turkish conquest in the, as you all know, 14th century, and later Mughals also adopted this technology. With regard to GI tag, India has established the GI Convention Act after the in accordance with the agreement of TRIPS, as you all know, and there is a validity of 10 years, which can be renewed, but if not renewed, it can be expired also. And one more aspect with regard to the demands of UPSC or in line with the trends, they can ask for the which of the products have been given the GI tags. So it can be agriculture products or any natural products or any manufacturer to industrial good. All these can be given GI tag, but according to the circumstances that they must have some unique geographical identity with respect to that. Fine. Who can apply? Any association of person. Any association of person can apply here. Further, the producers or a committee of producers can apply, or any organization can apply. But one thing to remember, a person can also apply for GI tag, but it should represent some kind of association or a committee. Fine. So these things have to be kept in mind. So end of the lecture here. We'll meet soon with the next part of art and culture series. Thank you very much.